JayZ just got called a gay painter on camera, and the internet has not slept since. Not a diss track, not a subtweet, not some blog post nobody reads. A full-on, chest-out, look the camera dead in the eye accusation from 50 Cent at JayZ, the same JayZ who runs Roc Nation, the same JayZ married to Beyonce, the same JayZ with 25 Grammy trophies stacked like Jenga blocks, has been out here styling himself after Jean-Michel Basquiat and hoping nobody in the culture would notice. And that is just the appetizer. Because 50 Cent did not stop at the paint splatter. 50 Cent went nuclear. 50 Cent said the marriage of Beyonce is why JayZ has all them awards. 50 Cent said JayZ personally picked up the phone and tried to keep 50 Cent off the Super Bowl stage. And now, after 25 years of duck and dodge, 25 years of letting other rappers fight the war, JayZ finally cracked open a vault and fired back in a clip that is a timeline in absolute chaos. Sit down. Lock the door. Because what you are about to hear is not beef. This is a corporate espionage thriller, wearing a fitted cap. Rewind the tape to February 13th, 2022. SoFi Stadium. Super Bowl 56. The halftime show that hip-hop had been begging for since the culture was born. Dr. Dre on the keys. Snoop Dogg in the Crip Blue bandana. Eminem taking a knee. Mary J. Blige in that silver fit. Kendrick Lamar bringing the West Coast to its feet. And then, out of the shadows, upside down, hanging from the rafters like a ghost from 2003, 50 Cent dropped and doing into club pose, and the entire internet detonated. Memes for days. Throwback jersey sold out overnight. G-Unit sneakers trending like it was 2005 all over again. It was one of the most electric surprise moments in Super Bowl history. And according to 50 Cent, that moment almost got deleted from existence. Not by the NFL, not by the producers, not by scheduling. According to 50 Cent, that moment was almost erased by one man wearing a bespoke suit in a Manhattan boardroom. And that man has a name. That name is Sean Corey Carter. Peep the power grid. Since 2019, Roc Nation, JayZ's entertainment empire, has been holding the pen on the entire Super Bowl halftime experience. JayZ decides who eats. JayZ decides who gets the mic. JayZ decides which legends get resurrected on the biggest television night in America, and which legends stay watching from a suite with a plate of wings. That is not a rumor. That is a written NFL partnership. So when 50 Cent pulled up on Cameron's podcast, Come Talk to Flea in December 2024, and said JayZ personally told Dr. Dre and Eminem that 50 Cent was not welcome on that stage, the room got quiet real fast. Because if 50 Cent is telling the truth, this is not petty rap beef. This is a Fortune 500 executive using corporate leverage to blackball a fellow black artist off the biggest platform in American entertainment. That is not a diss record. That is a lawsuit waiting to happen. Here is where the story gets sticky, because Eminem heard the whisper and Eminem was not having it. According to 50 Cent, and later confirmed by Tony Yayo on DJ Vlad, Eminem walked into the NFL meeting and said something along the lines of, number 50, no show, ride or die, day one energy, Slim Shady, the man who signed 50 Cent to Shady Records back when Curtis Jackson was still crawling out of 9 bullet wounds, told the biggest television broadcast on earth that Eminem would not perform unless 50 Cent was included in the performance. Think about that for a full second. Eminem, one of the biggest musical draws of the last 30 years, held the entire Super Bowl halftime show hostage over a man JayZ allegedly did not want in the building. And the NFL, sitting on billions of dollars in advertising revenue, blinked. 50 Cent got the call. 50 Cent got the harness. 50 Cent got the upside-down moment. But 50 Cent never got an apology from JayZ. And 50 Cent never forgot. The question everybody keeps asking is why. Why would JayZ, a man with a documented history of never getting his hands publicly dirty, risk his own reputation, try and keep 50 Cent off a stage where 50 Cent was only going to be visible for maybe 90 seconds? And 50 Cent, in that same Hollywood Reporter interview from July 2024, gave the answer that has hip-hop scholars losing sleep. 50 Cent said the competition between 50 Cent and JayZ stopped being about music years ago. 50 Cent said this is now about empires. Television empires. Streaming empires. The Power franchise on Stars. The G-Unit film and television production house. The billion-dollar entertainment infrastructure that 50 Cent has quietly built while everybody else was tweeting. According to 50 Cent, JayZ is not scared of another rap album. JayZ is scared of another cable network. And that fear, according to 50 Cent, is what pushed the boardroom into playing dirty on the biggest football night of the year. Now, if you thought that was the ceiling, tighten the seatbelt, Because 50 Cent introduced a theory in 2024 that flipped the entire conversation about JayZ's legacy on its head. 50 Cent called it the marriage contract. 50 Cent, sitting there smiling like a cat that just ate the last fish in the tank, said JayZ's Grammy count only exploded after JayZ married Beyonce. 50 Cent said the trophies did not come from bars. The trophies came from a ring. According to 50 Cent, the Recording Academy started treating JayZ different the moment JayZ stopped being viewed as a street-level rapper and started being viewed as America's favorite mogul husband, family man, businessman, Basquiat collector, golf course beat maker. 50 Cent used the phrase golf course music to describe JayZ's 444 album, and that phrase alone lit up group chats for a solid week. Now, let the numbers marinate. JayZ has 25 Grammy wins, more than any rapper alive or dead. 21 of those trophies arrived after 2004, which is the same window in which the Carter marriage became one of the most photographed unions in American celebrity culture. 50 Cent looked at that pattern and said the quiet part out loud. 50 Cent said the Recording Academy loves a redemption arc, loves a power couple, loves a rapper who shed the do-rag for a tuxedo, and JayZ gave them exactly that portrait. Meanwhile, Tupac Shakur, whose fingerprint are on every corner of modern hip-hop, died with 0 Grammys on the shelf. 50 Cent uses that fact like a switchblade. 50 Cent asked the audience how a genre-defining martyr like Tupac walked away empty, while a boardroom-ready mogul walked away with a museum. The answer, 50 Cent argues, is not talent. The answer is presentation. And presentation, in 50 Cent's telling, is Beyonce. Then came the paint. Oh, the paint. 50 Cent looked into a camera and said JayZ has been quietly modeling the entire aesthetic after Jean-Michel Basquiat, the legendary Brooklyn-born painter, whose crown and scribble style became one of the most bankable art brands of the last 40 years. Basquiat, who died at 27, is also a queer icon in the art world, a fact 50 Cent used to launch the phrase "Big Homie won't look like a gay painter," a line that ricocheted across every gossip blog within 6 hours. Now, is this a legitimate art critique? Not really. Is it a factually clean statement? Also not really, since Basquiat's sexuality is complicated and debated by scholars. But that is not the point. The point is that 50 Cent found a way to attack JayZ's masculinity, JayZ's authenticity, JayZ's cool factor, and JayZ's carefully curated art collector image all at once, in a single sentence, without saying anything technically slanderous. That is not a diss. That is a sniper round dressed as a joke. And once that sniper round left the chamber, every gossip channel, every barbershop group chat, and every rap podcast on the planet ran the clip on loop until frame melted. That is a 50 Cent formula in full daylight. Say the unsayable, wrap it in a punchline, and let the algorithm do the rest of the damage for free. To understand why this feud refuses to die, rewind the calendar all the way to 1999, back when 50 Cent was still Curtis Jackson from Southside Queens, sitting on a Columbia Records deal that was going absolutely nowhere. 50 Cent had 40 songs in the vault and 0 traction on the radio. So 50 Cent did what desperate geniuses do. 50 Cent robbed the whole industry, on wax, over a beat, in a song called How to Rob. Every big name in music got name-dropped and threatened, including JayZ. The line about kicking JayZ's $4 million selling behind through a Bentley coupe door landed like a brick through a boardroom window. JayZ, at Hot 97 Summer Jam that same year, clapped back with the now immortal bar, "I'm about $1. What the heck is 50 cents?" That line later showed up on its Hot from Volume 3, and it set the tone for a rivalry that would outlast marriages, moguls, and multiple presidential administrations. Then May 24th, 2000 happened. 50 Cent got shot 9 times outside a grandmother's house in Queens, an event that would have ended most careers but instead became the origin story of one of the most bankable brands in music history. Columbia dropped 50 Cent. The Power of the Dollar album got shelved. And 50 Cent spent 2 years grinding mixtapes with the kind of hunger that only a survivor understands. Then Eminem and Dr. Dre pulled up, Shady, Aftermath, Interscope, Get Rich or Die Trying dropped in February 2003. 872,000 copies in the first week. Diamond certification, eventually, into club, and 21 questions on every radio in America. Suddenly, the man JayZ had joked about being pocket change was standing on the throat of the industry. And JayZ, according to a 2013 Breakfast Club interview, warned every Rockefeller artist to flood the market before 50 Cent buried them all. They shared stages, split Reeboks, and even co-headlined the Rock the Mic tour. Publicly, everything looked cordial. Privately, according to 50 Cent, the war never stopped. It just changed uniforms. When Kanye West and 50 Cent went head-to-head on September 11, 2007 with Graduation versus Curtis, and Kanye won 957,000 to 691,000. 50 Cent immediately accused JayZ of putting a corporate thumb on the scale through Def Jam. In 50 Cent's world, JayZ has never once fought a fair fight in public. JayZ sends Beanie Siegel to answer Jadakiss. JayZ sends True Life to answer Cameron. JayZ lets the lawyers, the accountants, and the corporate contracts do what JayZ will not do on wax. 50 Cent famously coined the phrase, JayZ is the coolest punk in hip-hop, meaning JayZ has mastered the appearance of dominance without ever actually stepping into the ring. In 50 Cent's philosophy, that is not strategy. That is cowardice with champagne flute in hand. Now let the business war marinate. In 2004, 50 Cent took equity instead of check when Glasso came calling with vitamin water. Coca-Cola bought Glasso in 2007 for $4.1 billion. 50 Cent walked away with an estimated $60 to $100 million after taxes, a move that instantly rewrote the endorsement playbook for every hip-hop artist that followed. That same year, JayZ sold Rocawear to Iconics for $204 million in cash. Both men made moves the average American will never see in a lifetime. But 50 Cent has spent 2 decades making sure everybody remembers whose exit was smarter, whose equity play was cleaner, and whose brand outlived the fashion trend that birthed it. The competition, in 50 Cent's telling, has never once been about lyrics. The competition is about who owns what when the music finally stops playing. Here is the wrinkle nobody is talking about. JayZ has never publicly answered any of it. Not the Super Bowl claim, not the Grammy theory, not the Basquiat line, not the golf course music jab, not the coolest punk label. JayZ's silence has been so total, so surgical, so corporate, that fans have started reading the silence as a personality trait. Some call it discipline. Some call it grown man behavior. Some call it the move of a chess player who refuses to trade a queen for a pawn. But others, including a growing chorus on hip-hop podcasts, are starting to whisper a different word: complicity. Because in a culture that raised both men, silence in the face of an accusation is not always dignified. Sometimes silence is a confession, wearing designer sunglasses. And 50 Cent, who has never met a mirror worth avoiding, keeps holding one up to JayZ's face daily. Then this week, something cracked. A clip surfaced of JayZ, in a rare moment of unfiltered energy, appearing to fire back at the accusations for the first time in years. The specifics of the clip have been dissected frame by frame on every timeline from Twitter to TikTok, and the consensus is that JayZ, for the first time in a very long time, sounded genuinely rattled. Not angry, not petty, rattled, like a man who realized the silence stopped working. Whether the clip is a full response or a fragment stitched together by editors is still being debated, but the vibe shift is undeniable. The wall broke, the mogul spoke, and 50 Cent, sitting on Instagram like a spider waiting for the web to twitch, has already started posting memes at a pace that suggests round 2 is loading. Zoom out for a second, because the parallels are stacking up faster than most fans realize. In September 2024, Cameron and Maze floated the theory that JayZ blocked Lil Wayne from the 2025 Super Bowl for reasons that trace back to old New Orleans versus New York tension. If that pattern holds, then the 50 Cent story is not an isolated incident. That pattern would suggest Roc Nation has become a filter for personal grudges dressed up as creative decisions. And every rapper who has ever crossed JayZ is watching that filter with new eyes. Fans have begun assembling a mental list of names who have been quietly missing from Roc Nation-produced moments, and the list keeps getting longer. Coincidence or pattern? The court of public opinion, unlike an actual courtroom, does not need evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. The court of public opinion only needs a rhythm, and the rhythm is starting to sound like a drum. Peel back another layer, and you find the psychological difference between these two men, a difference that explains everything from the bars to the boardrooms. 50 Cent thrives in chaos. 50 Cent needs a smoke. 50 Cent posts through funerals, lawsuits, custody battles, and Instagram bans. Every controversy is fuel. Every enemy is content. Every meme is a bar. 50 Cent has built an empire on the philosophy that visibility, even ugly visibility, is oxygen. JayZ, by contrast, has built an empire on the exact opposite philosophy. JayZ is the vault. JayZ lets the music speak. JayZ lets the marriage speak. JayZ lets the numbers speak. JayZ will disappear for 18 months, drop a Louvre shot music video with Beyonce, sell out a stadium tour, and vanish again. One man performs in the comment section. The other man performs on the balance sheet. They are two operating systems trying to run in the same country. And yet, And this is the part that hip-hop refuses to acknowledge. 50 Cent and JayZ have quietly kept the entire genre in a permanent state of relevance for a quarter century. Without the tension, without the theories, without the shots and the silences, hip-hop would have lost a huge chunk of its cultural gravity to streaming algorithms and short-form apps a long time ago. Every generation needs a Coke versus Pepsi. Every genre needs a Magic versus Bird. Rap got 50 versus Jay. And every time the story looks like it is dying, one of them says something reckless in a hotel lobby, and the culture wakes right back up. That is not a coincidence. That is symbiosis with a chip on its shoulder. Here is the theory the internet has not caught yet, the one that changes how you watch this entire saga. 50 Cent is not really attacking JayZ the man. 50 Cent is attacking a template. The template of the polished, corporate, silent, marriage-approved mogul who has convinced America that dignity equals success. 50 Cent is arguing, in every post and every interview, that the real culture, the sweaty, argumentative, street-level, refuse-to-be-managed culture, is being replaced by a boardroom-approved knockoff. And JayZ and 50 Cent's telling is the mascot for that knockoff. That is why the paint line landed so hard. That is why the Grammy theory refuses to die. That is why the Super Bowl accusation keeps trending. 50 Cent is not fighting a rapper. 50 Cent is fighting an entire era of respectability politics, wearing a fitted suit. And now JayZ has finally answered, at least a little, and the culture is holding its breath. Will 50 Cent go quiet, satisfied that the wall finally cracked? History says the exact opposite. History says 50 Cent is going to double the meme output, triple the podcast appearances, and quadruple the corporate references. Because 50 Cent understands something that most rappers, mogul or otherwise, refuse to accept. A Cold War only ends when one side stops showing up. And 50 Cent does not know how to stop showing up. That is the whole personality. That is the whole brand. That is the whole business plan. So where does this leave the culture? Sitting in the middle of two billionaires who cannot decide whether to laugh or lawyer up. It leaves the culture with a decision. Do fans want the emperor who never speaks, or the gladiator who never shuts up? Do fans want the dignity of silence, or the honesty of the comment section? Do fans want a mogul who married the queen, or the survivor who took the bullets? There is no correct answer. There is only a mirror. And both 50 Cent and JayZ, whether they admit it or not, are holding the mirror up to hip-hop and daring the culture to look at what it has become. That is the real prize. Not the Grammys. Not the Super Bowl. Not the vitamin water money. The prize is authorship of the story. The prize is who gets to define the era. If 50 Cent is right about even half of these claims, then JayZ's legacy is going to need a rewrite that no publicist can spin. If JayZ is right in the silence, then 50 Cent is just the loudest heckler in a stadium that stopped listening a long time ago. But here is the twist. Both things can be true at the same time. Legends are complicated. Empires are messy. And hip-hop, more than any other genre, was built on the exact tension between the boardroom and the block. That tension is not a bug. That tension is the entire operating system. Drop a comment and pick a side, because the timeline is watching. Team 50 Cent, who says the truth teller with the Instagram finger is the last honest man in the game. Team JayZ, who says the silent mogul with the 25 Grammys is the blueprint everybody else is trying to trace. Or Team Culture, the third option, that says both of these men are two halves of the same story and hip-hop needs both engines to keep flying. Whichever team wins the comment section, the story is not done. The clip that surfaced this week is not the finale. The clip is the trailer. And if history has taught the culture anything, it is that when 50 Cent smells blood in the water, 50 Cent does not swim away. 50 Cent orders the whole ocean. Stay locked in, subscribe to the channel, and drop your loudest take in the comments right now. Because the next chapter of the longest Cold War in hip-hop is about to start writing itself in real time, and nobody in that boardroom, on that block, or in that group chat is ready for what 50 Cent posts next. The internet has been warned. The billionaires have been named. The receipts have been posted. The pain has been called out. The trophies have been questioned. And the war, quietly and loudly at once, has grown far louder than anyone was ready for.